Hi there and welcome to our channel of occasional videos. Today we're going to be looking at an Aldi $129 53cc 20-inch chainsaw. Is it any good or not? Well, here we are on a cool autumn afternoon. It's actually starting to rain, and that makes me think of two things straight away. One is firewood. The other one, of course, is chainsaws. So this Ferrex chainsaw obviously comes from Aldi, and I was walking through the aisles like you do. I was doing a lap looking for anything special that might come up, and here it was by itself, the last one in the shop, $129 only. This is a 53cc 20-inch allegedly chainsaw. It came in a box full of bits and pieces, and it actually comes nicely equipped. I had very low expectations for this, and when I unpacked it I went, ooh, this feels quite good. What we're going to do is have a look at the features of this saw, and then I just want to go through the features of a different brand, and you can actually have a bit of a comparison one to the other. So if I just put this one down for the moment, the other saw I'm going to be looking at is my trusty little Stihl MS231. Now this is a 43cc chainsaw, and it's my old hard-working friend. So let's start by talking about some of the features of this chainsaw. Not every chainsaw is the same. That's something I've learned. It is pretty standard, but it's got a couple of really nice things about it. The first thing you'll notice when you pick this particular saw up, it's not particularly light, but it is very, very well balanced. The handle sticks out exactly right, and all the controls come to hand quite easily. So the ergonomics is very, very good, and I've got to give it to whoever designed this in China. They've done a pretty good job of it. So the main features are choke, pretty simple. It's got a primer bulb, very easy to get to. There's no reaching into impossible places like some of the saws that I've used. It has a really cheap and nasty looking on-off switch. I'm assuming that's going to fail at some time. It's just not great, but it's there, so it comes straight to your thumb, easy to operate. Air cleaner, spark plug cover on that side, and we've got the usual bar oil, fuel caps on that side there. The construction is all plastic, but it seems really solid. There's nothing loose or wobbly or cheap feeling about this chainsaw. When you buy something from Aldi, you've got to ask the question, where's the compromise? $129 is cheap. Well, where is the compromise? What we have here is what appears to be a very solidly built chainsaw. Take the side covers off, the clutch is well made, everything inside looks really well made, the guards, the lot. Really, just looking at it, you can't fault it. And one thing I've discovered, it even cuts ironbark that looks just like that, and everybody knows how hard this stuff is. Okay, and when you're talking about chainsaws, the old question comes to mind: do you buy cheap and cheerful, or do you spend more money? The question you've got to ask yourself is, how long is something like this going to last? Well, it's built for occasional use, which means a few hours a year really, and if you do that and you do the right thing by it, you mix the fuel properly, all that sort of stuff, it'll last you a very, very long time. This one is also built for occasional use, even though it's a lot more expensive, and you've still got to look after it, and you've still got to pump spare parts into it. This one you can take to your local repair shop 20 years from now, and they'll be able to get parts for it and fix it for you. This one, if you take it to your local repair shop, well, they'll probably throw you out. So let's talk about how you're going to make this thing last you a number of seasons. And let's be realistic. You buy this type of saw to use short periods of time, probably only 3, 4, 5 times a year. Chop your firewood, put the saw away. But that's the way to wreck it. What you've got to do to make this thing last a very long time, and it will if you do, first, keep the chain sharp. Learn how to do it yourself. It takes a couple of minutes. That's fine. The other thing you do every time you use it, take the side cover off, clean everything, make sure the oiler is working, check everything over, put it back together again. Next thing, if it's quite likely that it's going to be a few months before you use it again, drain the fuel, put the cap back on, start it, and let the fuel run out. The most common problem with any chainsaw is crappy fuel sitting in the bottom of the carburetor and gumming things up. The shops love you for it. If you do those simple things, there is no reason in the world that you won't get a decade out of a saw like this. Let me tell you a secret though, something that you'll really want to know if you want to buy an Aldi chainsaw. If you need parts for this, all the common parts are available, believe it or not, on eBay. And while we're talking, I just want to show you a couple of things that are missing from the more expensive saw that the cheaper saw has got. This is really important. The first and most obvious thing that's missing from the still saw is there's no primer bulb. No. Can you believe it? If I want a primer bulb on this particular model, they want another $100, and it's got the easy start system as well. $100. That's a lot of money. You can buy another Ferrex chainsaw for just about that. The other thing that the Ferrex saw has got that the still doesn't have, which I wish it did have, underneath, there's no way of adjusting the oil flow. What you get is what you get. With the Aldi chainsaw, you can adjust the flow of oil to the chain. And over the years, I have found that to be a very, very useful feature. You know, at the end of the day, what saw would you want, really? If you've only got a house like this, little quarter-acre block with a few trees on it, you're only going to use it a few times a year, the $129 saw is not a bad bet. Look after it and it'll be reliable for you. I've got no doubt about that. If you're going to be using it many hours a week or many days a month, something like that, you'd want to go for a quality unit. If you're going to be using it long and hard, get a saw that's made to run long and hard. You've just got to pay the cash for it. But here's something. You don't always need a big one. What we have here is a Stihl 161T battery-powered chainsaw. Do you know how you winterize these things? You take the battery out. You don't always need a big one. So ignore all those YouTube clips with people using 36-inch chainsaws. Just look at this one and take good advice. Think about what you're doing with the saw and choose one wisely. The YouTube stuff. So that's it. As with everything, you can subscribe to us. We make occasional videos of household stuff, very wide variety. It could be interesting to you. Doesn't worry me if you don't subscribe particularly. But the thing that's important, if you're going to get yourself a chainsaw, don't forget, they're like angle grinders. They're potentially very dangerous. Know what you're doing, look after yourself, and don't lose a limb.